What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Neo. Now, Neo have had a weird goddamn time in crypto because fundamentally, the last couple of years have been mad for them based on the fact that they were based in China, and obviously China's ban had a big impact on them. I want to look at what price potential Neo can hit. There's also been and fundamentally, is there gains to still be had from Neo? You'll see by the title, I think there's still a chance, but there's a lot of things that have to happen for them to make those gains. Also, there's some news out regarding the Ripple case. There's also some news out regarding Vitalik Buterin and his lack of passion or lack of enthusiasm for institutional money coming into crypto. And I'll cover those as well. Before I get into it though, if you're new to the channel, you may be wondering why the hell you should listen to me, and that would be a fair question. There's a lot of YouTube channels out there. These are the first 26 coins that I've spoken about on this channel. They were actually the first 26 I held when I made the channel. Had you put in $100 into these coins when I released the videos about them, and you'd done everything wrong as an investor, you never sold them, you literally just bought them and ignored them for a couple of years, you'd still, doing everything wrong, be in profit for around 9K. Doing everything wrong. But if you'd done everything right, the contrast, if you'd sold these coins last year when the markets were flying, you could have made 123K. Massive difference between doing the right thing and the wrong thing. Obviously, I sold these last year. I don't have these anymore. If you want to see my current portfolio, come read copymycrypto.com. On that site, I share my current portfolio. I share every coin I buy. I share every coin I sell. We have thousands of members. A lot of them never invest in anything. So we've got step-by-step beginners tutorials as well. So there is literally no learning curve whatsoever. Fundamentally, what I do is share everything I'm doing. And if you guys want to make these gains, the 40Xs, the 50, the 60, the 600, then you want to go read the site. I deep dive into these markets on a daily basis, and I'm always looking for the next Phantom. Phantom was the only Udemy course I've ever made in my life where I said it'd be the best investment of the year. It did 677 times gains. When I find the next Phantom, I'm going to go onto the site and tell the members I'm not going to do a Udemy course. So if you want to find out what the next big coin in the market is going to be and get in early and make that kind of profit, go read the site now. Link is in the description, guys. Right, Neo. So, Neo, formerly known as AntShare, hit heights of $170 or so in 2018. In last year, hit heights of $120. As you can see, it's dropping a quarter. Basically, it's dropped 25% from the high here to the high here. So another 25% drop would put it at around $90, which is about 10x from where it is right now. Now, for that to happen, a lot has to occur. China obviously ended up banning crypto last year. And what that did was really hinder any sort of price progression that Neo was going to have. Pretty much stopped it in its tracks. Neo has often been billed as the Chinese Ethereum. It was believed to be China's first ever public blockchain when it launched in 2014. They ended up having obviously massive growth because they were launched like 0.01, less than a cent. I remember it being less than a cent in 2018. Now, Neo has a 2-token model. So Neo is the overall blockchain and the governance token that you can use for voting. Gas is what's used to pay all the transactions on the network. And they are very well developed at this point. They're on their 3rd upgrade now. They're looking to upgrade to version 3. Now, they're also what I really like, and there's a few things I really like about Neo right now. They've been doing USA campus tours, trying to get developers and blockchain enthusiasts to start utilizing Neo. And I like that. Go around America, try and start opening up the Neo network to America more and more and more. They do have bases in Seattle, Washington, Colorado. They've also got hubs in Brazil and Spain and Switzerland and Russia and China. And China's the sort of issue with regards to Neo, because it's always been thought like its whole selling point for a couple of years was it's the Chinese version of Ethereum. That was it. That was like not that was all there was to it, but that was the real big sort of. Effectively, that was like its banner. So they need to move away from that and just be recognized as a really good quality blockchain, and it is. You can move Neo from place to place and it's free, which is pretty damn good. What they're also doing, which I really like, is they have a ton of different ways to incentivize people to start building with Neo. They've got, excuse me, EcoBoost. This was announced at Consensus 2019. EcoBoost is a $100 million initiative designed to grow the Neo ecosystem. So huge amounts of funds going in. Come build with us, and and if you fit the scope, you will be funded up to 50 grand in US dollars. They've got the Eco Fund program as well, which is the idea is you've either got business scope or you've got the investment scope. The investment direction is effectively the infrastructure or dApps. But the business scope is the way in which you wish to invest. There's incubation support here, and there's funding support again. You've got general grants for the development of tools and infrastructure for the Neo blockchain. Again, 5 grand to 50 grand is generally what you'll potentially get. 100 grand is the maximum they'll ever give. They've got core developer grants as well. Again, this is to ensure that the infrastructure of Neo is consistently improving. And you can get a 2 grand monthly stipend for if you get the core developer grant. They've got research grants as well. So they're really pushing in a plethora of different ways. That's a good sign. They really want to be building. Now, less good is the overall ecosystem. I'm not at all, wowed by this. When we look at the overall dApps on Neo, we can see 24-hour transactions from high to low. And Flamingo Finance obviously wins that. In fact, we'll go back a sec because for some reason they don't like showing it. And I could understand why the transactions aren't that high. Doesn't look like a well-utilized blockchain. So Flamingo's 7-day transactions has been 836,000 or 12,100 for a different version of Flamingo Finance. Then after that, you're looking at 6,000. That's the next best. 6,000 transactions across 7 days. It's not great. And this is the problem. The ecosystem, while they're working on it, they're not really... they've not grown this. They've not grown this with successful products that people are using beyond Flamingo Finance. But I know people are using Flamingo. And this is my problem. Excuse me. For all the work that they've put in, this is the blockchain-based service network that Neo's partnered with, by the way. They've got a few key partners. One of them is blockchain-based network. We've also got Poly Network. Poly Network's now interoperable with a few different blockchains, which is obviously a good sign. They're part of the Interwork Alliance. They're part of .NET Foundation as well. And they're part of IEEE, which, I'll be honest, is one I'm unfamiliar with. Advancing Technology for Humanity. Right. Now, yeah, fundamentally, right, firstly, I like the dual model token. I actually think gas has got a lot of potential to rally in price. I like the fact that they're going around USA. I like the amount of grants that they've got in place. Always be building when the markets are down. And they are building. That's a great sign. But that ecosystem is just not strong enough. They really need to bring some fire to this, to their network. They need dApps that are being fully used. They need to be marketing themselves better. Excuse me. Neo's simply not being seen enough. And they're not, even with all those dApps, they're not getting people coming. They're not getting enough new projects on the network. And they need more. They need way more. And they need ones that are really heavily used. If they had 10 versions of Flamingo where they were really being used well, Neo would have way more potential in terms of price appreciation. But right now, it's limited because the system, the world of Neo is limited. And that's it, really. Like, if they grow, if they market effectively, can it hit $90 again? Of course it can. That only puts it at like 630 billion market cap. That's not 6.3. My brain, 6.3 billion market cap. That's not that high. It's not that high. Very achievable. But they have to grow. If they don't really start getting new builders there, they're going to struggle. So they really, really, really have got to start pushing, because they're just behind where they need to be right now. They have, they're one of the oldest blockchains, and their ecosystem is piss poor. And the problem is as well the uncertainty around China. Has always been an issue for Neo, and obviously that quashed a lot. And then, and because China blocked, and because a lot of Neo's bases are in China, there are people that are stepping away from Chinese-based projects. So, again, that's a problem that needs overcoming. And that's probably why they're attempting to really grow their base in the USA with the USA University campus tours. I like it. I think they're way behind where they should be, given that they've been up and running for years and years and years compared to a lot of the other blockchains out there. And if they don't grow, maybe they do still hit 90, but it would be based on, riding the bull wave. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you are a returning viewer, can you subscribe to the channel, please? We are getting that percentage down. We had 80% of viewers, 80% of returning viewers hadn't subscribed. We've got that down to 75%. In fact, I think we're just shy of 74% now. So if you can hit the subscribe button, that would do the channel the world of good. And guys, if you want to see the coins I own that are in my portfolio right now, go read copymycrypto.com. On that site, I share every coin I own. I share every coin I buy. I share every coin I sell. We've got thousands of members. We've got beginner tutorials because many of those members have never invested in anything. So there's no barrier to entry. They're the same videos I do send to friends and family if they're trying to figure out how to trade. Guys, I deep dive these markets all the time. I'm going to find the next Phantom, the next coin that does the massive gains. When I do, I'm going to go onto the site and tell the members. I'm not going to do a Udemy course or anything like that. I'm simply going to get onto the site. So if you want to learn about the next big coin and make the gains and be an early investor into it, then go read the site. Link, guys, is in the description. And there's the last couple bits. So, a crypto law expert has suggested that the SEC are likely to lose the XRP case and discredit the Howey test. So, obviously, the crypto trial that has been ongoing forever, Ripple versus SEC, has been unrelenting. Now, 2 years on from all of this starting, the SEC looks like they're set to lose because Ripple decided to fight back, and so did thousands of the retail users of XRP who have no connection to Ripple other than being co-victims of the government's behavior. The The SEC realised early in the litigation that they'd gotten lost in a maze of its own making. The stellar defence team for Ripple went for the jugular, calling out the bizarre SEC premise that XRP had been an unregistered investment contract in Ripple since 2013. They also, were vitally fighting the Hinman documents, which ended up landing, even with I think about a year and a half's worth of constant battles to not share the Hinman documents. They lost that. Hinman documents with Ripple. Ripple are now going to be using that for their advantage. They're almost certainly going to win. As a result, SEC are going to lose basically the biggest case that they've had within crypto, and they're going to look weak as a result. It's going to be very, very interesting. The question is whether or not they ever use the Howey test again as well. So, Verrett, who is Professor J.W. Verrett at George Mason's University, came out and said that if the SEC appeals up to the Supreme Court, it's likely to not only lose, but set a sweeping precedent that would limit or eliminate entirely the application of the Howey test on cryptocurrencies, which, if that's removed, then no cryptocurrency can ever be a security. So it could be a very, very interesting time when that case finally comes to a conclusion. And also, Vitalik is very keen for the crypto industry not to pursue institutional capital. He said, he weighed in on a regulatory debate surrounding crypto. He said, I don't think we should enthusiastically pursue large institutional capital at full speed. Regulation that leaves the crypto space free to act internally but makes it harder for crypto projects to reach the mainstream is much less bad than regulation that intrudes on how crypto works internally. His overarching concern is that institutional capital ruins the way that the cryptos are designed, because they'll effectively end up having a say in how things are built. This comes after the controversial Sam Bankman-Fried blog post in which he outlined his regulatory vision for the industry. And not to get in, I'm not going to get into what Sam Bankman-Fried said, but it was effectively, we all viewed it as he's trying to crush the crypto market effectively, or make himself the only game in town. But I sort of get Vitalik's point, but fundamentally institutional investors are circling. They're already here, and they're going to continue circling. As long as they're not part of the team, projects should be able to hold them at bay in terms of capitulating to the demands. But we'll see. We can't know until it happens. Anyway, that's it from me, guys. Let's see how today breaks. It's going to be an interesting one. End of the month, always volatility. Take care. Bye-bye.